All right, guys, so when we're using chains in the gym, be aware that it'll always say, the schematic on the board will always say 50 plus 25%, 55 plus 25%, or 60 plus 25%. That weight is referring to a percentage of your 1 rep max. So the first part, the big one, 50, 55, or 60, will always be the weight that goes on the bar. So it'd be 50% of my 1 rep max on the bar plus 25% of my 1 rep max in chains. Now chains, we've got 2 different size chains here. We've got a 20-pound chain, which you can see is just a little bit thicker, and then we've got the 10-pound chain. Don't ever mix these chains together. They each have their own separate places at both Apex and Dignified. We want the 10s in one and the 20s in another. Now when you put the chains on, you're always going to have a lead chain. The lead chain will look something like this, and there will always be a circle at the top. Never change the circle. Never take this small carabiner off. It's that width for a reason, because I'll slide it right onto my barbell easily, and if this is always getting jacked around, it'll be a pain in the butt. Now, I want to set this up so that the middle of the chain is just off the ground from the starting position. So since right here I would be doing maybe, so if I was going to do back squats, this would be the top of where the barbell would go to. So at the top, I want the chains to be just off the ground. So if I was to look at that, right about there, so that means I want the chain to stop right about here, which means maybe what I'll do is I will carabine this together like so. And I hope you see why I picked that spot. Then I take the chain, I put the chain through here. And now that means that at the top of when I stand in my back squat or my front squat, the chains will be on the ground at the bottom, and when I stand up, the chains will be just off the ground. And obviously I want to do the same for both sides. Now, what I have to remember is that if I'm going to do shoulder press, then this is going to be the bottom of where the chain goes. So if this is where the bottom of the chain goes, I would set my chain up differently. Basically, I'm going to set it up because now that I'm going to be going vertical, I want the whole chain on the ground. So as I press up, the chains are just off the ground. So at the bottom of whatever movement you're doing, all the chain is on the ground. At the top, the chain is all the way off. Okay? Once again, remember not to take these off. All right? And then lastly, if you guys haven't been doing a lot of heavy work, if you haven't been doing 5-3-1s, if you haven't been doing heavy work without chains, there's no reason to do the work with the chains now. You can accomplish this same exact workout just by doing, instead of 50 plus 25, 8 sets of 2, you can just do 75% on the bar, 8 sets of 2. Or instead of 55 plus 25, you can just do 80%